That's take one. My name is Brad van der Linde. I'm 29. I was born in Zimbabwe, but grew up in South Africa. Moved to Australia in 2005. I'm an associate pastor at our church. We live in an epic community called Tugan, so that's a blessing for Martha and I because I love it. I preach, I take care of sort of keeping a community for like an outreach focus. We've got a lot of people with just epic skills, and I try to help them see how they can use it for the kingdom, whether it be in a program sense at church or just in their jobs. You don't have to always be in ministry inside the church buildings, but I believe you can be in ministry as a teacher, you can be in ministry working at Coles, you can be in ministry doing anything. Martha is my beautiful wife. She is the love of my life. Is that what people say? She is a Canadian woman that I met in Canada, and then I convinced her to move to Australia and marry me. We've been married for five and a half years. We're a team. We don't make any decisions on our own. This is honest truth. I can't remember what life is like without her. So, yeah. I love to play with boats. So I like to water ski, wakeboard, surf. I like to fish, and then I like to play music as well. I'm not very good at music. I'm average, but I love playing music with people. Guitar is the only thing that people would allow me to play in front of them. I think I just got pooed on. I've got a dream. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I would like to buy a sailboat in South Africa, like a 45-foot cat, and then take about 1.5 to 2 years to sail it to Australia. It's a pretty big dream. I love sailing. I'm not very good at it. I could sail. I like to hire the bear boats up at Whitsundays. It's kind of like it's a 4-bedroom boat, and then so you can go with 8 people, just hire it out for like 5 or 7 days. I would do that every year if I could afford it. So I've actually been very blessed to travel. In 2009, I got to spend about 1.5 years traveling. So I went to South Africa for a bit, went to Europe, got to go to Ireland, went around England, went to Wales, went to Germany. I did a ski season in Canada. That's where I met Martha. And then road trip down the west coast, down to San Diego. We went to Vegas on a budget and it was just terrible. The place we stayed at didn't even have like tiles. It was like broken tiles on the floor. There was blood stains in the bathroom. I've always wanted to do like a Mentawais trip, surf trip. That's probably the only place in the world that I still want to go. Oh, Japan, yeah, I want to go to Japan. I love snowboarding. We keep saying we want to go to Japan, but when it comes to it, we have booked a sailing trip both times. Mallards is a business that I started with my dad and my brother. So they both work other jobs. When we grew up, we were very blessed to have a couple of boats, and every weekend we would spend Saturday mornings on the boat. And Mallards has a ski range from 16 foot through to 23 feet. And all the boats are quite social, so there's a cool thing about when you're on a boat, it creates an encouraging environment. So you get someone at the back, and everybody else in the boat is focused on the person in the back, and they're all encouraging. So because that was such a big part of my life, when I thought about what else I wanted to do, so I always wanted to be in ministry, I always knew that. And this is like a non-Christian business that is a ministry as well. A boat is a great thing because it actually brings people together instead of splitting them apart. And it just gives me a chance to interact with people from all sorts of walks of life and be a part of them making a decision that brings their family together. I had an encounter with God when I was in grade 9, but until that moment I had grown up in the church. I went to Sunday school every week. I did all the stuff you're meant to do at church. I was like the worst person, worst kid, just such a rat bag all the time. But in grade 9, I accepted who Jesus was. I felt the love of God so tangibly, and that's when he changed my life completely. Straight away from hating kids to loving them in one night, and he changed me to be compassionate for people and gave me a purpose. And I've had a relationship with God ever since. So that was grade 9. So we had a bit of a rough time in South Africa. My dad owned a business, my mum worked in like the medical industry, and we sort of lost everything my parents had built up. And I had to move to Australia in grade 12, in the middle of my final year when we were meant to be doing all the fun party stuff. I think I'm a pretty average person. But I've got something special, is that I don't have a little bit on the edge of my thumb. That's a bit smaller. And this is called Stompy. My sister cut it off when I was 2. She slammed the door and my finger was in there. It means that I've got a sharp corner on the end of my thumb, which I can use for texting. So I don't know what I will be in 5 years, but my prayer and my challenge to myself, and I think a challenge should be to everybody, is God's given us a certain amount of hours, a certain amount of giftings, the friends, relationships, and our close relationships and our not so close relationships. And I just want to be able to give Him glory and do that well. I'm a husband now, and I'm a business owner, and I'm a pastor. I want to do those really well. I don't want to just do them half-assed. And so if one day I'm a dad, I want to be the best dad, and I want to spend my time wisely. And I just don't want to be sitting around one year and think, oh, what did I do for the last few years? I want to take advantage of what time God's given me and let people see that He is awesome. And having a relationship with Him is normal. And it's not what people often think it is. To know that you have a relationship with God and you want to go out and do everything to glorify Him, it gives you way more purpose and fulfillment in life. As a husband, as a father, as a business owner, as an artist, as a surfer, having a relationship with God just makes everything clearer. And if I can help people see that, that would be epic as well. All right, so done?